All right, let's start. Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Donfrancesco from HitTrax, CEO, founder. And with me is pound for pound, the best hitter in the company, Elena Bowman.
Depends who you talk to. Depends who you talk to.
Without a doubt, pound for pound, the best hitter. What we're here to talk about is the HitTrax Open, our first. We're extremely excited about this. So we've been announcing this. We've announced this the last probably like 2 weeks ago. And there's been a lot of questions, and people are now registering, facilities are now registering. And we wanted to have first of probably many webinars. This is kicking off on Friday, the 17th, which is exactly 3 weeks from today. So we thought this was going to be a first of, again, many webinars, just to kind of walk everyone through the process, set expectations, define what it is and what the process is going to be and the format, and benefits to the players and to the facilities and prizes and all of that. So we put together a few slides, and we'll be answering your questions. So please fire away at the questions. Elena will be looking at that, and we'll answer them right away or whenever it makes sense to fit into the conversation. So we can start off. Did I miss anything, Elena? Why?
No, that's perfect. Yeah, we just want to continue to keep everybody on the same page, as we're heading into the tournament. And there's some different moving pieces and a lot of preparation on our side. So whatever, we can do to make sure that it's a smooth process for everyone, we're here for. And what's nice about these webinars is they're pretty intimate conversation, to where if you have a question or, you're wondering something, please feel free to shoot it in that chat. With only a few of us in here, we can definitely cover all of it. So don't be shy. We definitely want this to be interactive, and we're here to help you, make sure that you have a good experience with the Open.
Great. Okay, so what exactly is the HitTrax Open? Why are we doing this? So, this is something that we've been building upon for a few years now. Our main business, obviously, we're a data company. Actually, we're more of an experience company. We provide excellent data. We sell to MLB teams, colleges, high schools, baseball academies, and the whole entertainment side of the business. We've been growing incredibly well over the last couple of years. And we've also on that side, we've had this gaming feature. And it's kind of a blurry line because we're providing all the great analytics, but we're also providing the experience and the games and the competition for the players that they're really enjoying. The academies are it's a revenue stream for the academies as well. So, when the pandemic hit, we, like everyone else, we paused. The whole world paused actually in March. Baseball got canceled and all that. So it kind of allowed us to take a step back and analyze what the situation was. And, when baseball would come around again and when our customers would actually open their doors up, whether it's a spring training facility or a college or a baseball academy, we wanted to be ready for that. And we wanted to help our customers, because baseball academies is a good lion's share of our business. So we wanted to help them out. We knew that, there's going to be a lot of trepidation with playing baseball and getting together and all that. So we kind of thought, okay, maybe analytics isn't, the most important thing right now, which is kind of near and dear to my heart, but it's more of getting these kids to play the game again, giving them a competitive outlet, all this pent up demand that's out there that, everyone was inside the house for weeks and all months. So we thought about these online tournaments, and we started the Friday night series. And then we started seeing, okay, well, that's going over really well. Now, what about all of these players that have lost their seasons? The minor league baseball teams, that's not going over well. And then, of course, the pro softball teams, the players that we're really close with. And, of course, the Olympians that, Tokyo's been postponed. Hopefully they'll have it next year, which I'm sure they will. What can we do for them? So that's what the HitTrax Open is. That's who we're designating this first one for. And we envision this for independent ball players, for colleges, for high school players. So this is the first of many opens. And this one, which you see the dates there, this one's geared for all the minor league players, the pro softball players, and the Olympians. And what we wanted to do was give them, again, a competitive outlet. They might have lost their seasons. They worked really hard. Maybe this is something that they can look forward to, train a little bit, have fun, compete, and then we put some prize money in there too. So we thought that was kind of like an added kicker. You know, a lot of these players, pro softball players, they don't make too much money. The season's not too long. The minor league baseball players, I mean, that's a long, hard life. So we wanted to kind of, and then of course the Olympians, which is awesome opportunity to do that. So we thought maybe throwing some prize money in there would be kind of cool. And it's just a way for HitTrax to give back a little bit to the community, to the baseball community and softball community. So that's why we're doing it. And that's really what it is and who it's for, the facilities and the ball players themselves. Elena, I just babbled there for a little bit, but hopefully I made sense.
No, you totally nailed it. You totally nailed it. And I mean, it's been a fun development. I speak for all of us, you know, as a team to try to figure out, okay, so now we have this fantastic platform of the remote gaming, which is really in a time where everybody's playing, you know, everybody's the social distancing and, you know, how can we unify the community around one tournament or one exciting thing, you know, and how can we kick it off in a really exciting way. So, you know, Mike's not going to take credit, but it was his idea. The HitTrax Open originally, and we all ran with it, and we're just really excited that it's finally here because, you know, this has kind of been the long-term plan for us, I think, since the beginning of the pandemic of what we could do with this platform and how we could kick it off. So yeah, I think it was awesome. I think it was a perfect explanation.
I think I want to do it as we want to do it as an annual event. So this is an inaugural, a first of its kind, and I envision this especially for the minor leaguers and pro softball players every January, you know, right before spring training, you know, let's put one on. And I expect January 2021 this to go well, and this is a starting point, you know, and I'm sure it's going to grow, get the word out there, and people understand what it is and all that. So we envision this as the first of many HitTrax Opens for the professionals. Okay, so what you're seeing in front of here. Again, any questions, let us know. But what you see in front of here is kind of, let's get into what actually it is and the formatting and all of that. So the first slide, when is it, I guess, right? So there's going to be 2 rounds. There's going to be a qualifying round where all eligible players, and that's the next slide, who is eligible. But any eligible player on the baseball and softball. So there's 2 tournaments. There's a baseball tournament for MILB players and Olympic players. And then there's a softball tournament for all pro players and Olympians. The qualifying round for both tournaments is Friday the 17th through Sunday. So players can go to any facility, any HitTrax enabled facility. We'll talk about that a little bit more too. They can visit any HitTrax enabled facility that has registered for the event and play 3 games, and we'll get into that as well, what the game is. But that qualifying round is Friday, July 17th to Sunday, July 19th, right? And they have any time to play any game, any time frame in there. It's just not a window of time. We'll accept any game that's played during that time frame. All right. So what's going to happen there is if there's 100 players or 500 players, they're going to play the game, and they're going to play 3 games. And their score, their cumulative score, the total for all 3 games, is going to be put into a tournament leaderboard. So you're going to have 300 players from 1 all the way to 300, and they're going to be ranked based on the total runs that they scored, all right, in those 3 games. And we're going to take the top 32 players of that group, of that 300 players, and the top 32 are going to move on to the finals round, which is going to happen the next weekend. You see the dates here. Those top 32 players are going to enter into a bracket in 4 divisions. We're going to rank them. We're going to rank those players based on the results in the qualifying round. So we're in charge of the rankings. We're in charge of putting which division you're going to be in. And then we're going to have set times. And in the first 3 rounds, whittling down to the final 4, is going to happen either Friday or Saturday, baseball and softball, on the 24th and 25th. And it's going to be single elimination for those. It's going to be head-to-head now. So the first qualifying round is a standalone game. The players only battling themselves, and the scores are then uploaded. But in the finals round, we're going to pit 1 versus 32, or really 1 versus 8, just like a March Madness type of bracket. and they're going to play, and then they're going to advance to get to the Final Four. And then the Final Four happens on, that should be Monday, July 27th. Sorry, that's a typo on my part. So Sunday and Monday, the 26th and 27th, is going to be the Final Four. That's going to be a best of 3 head-to-head competition. So 2 rounds, qualifying round the weekend of the 17th, and then the top 32 move on to the finals round, which is a bracketed tournament on the weekend of the 24th, 25th, or Friday through Monday of the 24th through the 27th. So those are the 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think that's great too. And just because there's a couple facilities on here. So in terms of scheduling, and I think we're going to get to that also later on in the slides, but for the opening weekend, if you have a player participating in your facility, you can plan for about an hour of gameplay per player. So they're going to play 3 games, 20-minute time cap. If they play them consecutively, that's an hour. So if you're kind of thinking ahead in terms of how many, if you have multiple players coming in and you need to book out time, I mean, it might be a good idea to intersperse them, you know, and you play 1 game, you take a game break, and you play another game. But just plan for an hour of gameplay per player. And so for the players that are going to be listening to this, remember, you can play that anytime between Friday morning to Sunday night. I mean, you could play your first game Friday morning and your last game Sunday night. You just have to get those 3 games played in that window of time. And then I think for the finals weekend, you know, we're going to be coordinating based on the rankings. So in terms of times, that there is going to be a need for a little bit more flexibility. But on the facility side, you know, we have all your contact information, so we'll be in touch. And same thing on the player side, you know, this is going to be something that works for everybody.
So I have a slide here talking about timing and all that. So it's going to be 3 for the qualifying round, 3 games of 20-minute or 6 innings, something like that, where it's roughly about 20 minutes a game. There's going to be some, you know, playing 3 games in a row is pretty, they're going to be gassed after the, you know, game and a half, you know, 10, 12 innings. They're doing a lot of swings. So maybe they do want to space it out or take breaks in between. So we could talk about how the facilities are going to charge for this or plan for this on the logistics side. So I do have that in a slide here. We can get into that. All right. Any questions so far out there? We good with this?
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. All right. Okay. Who is eligible to play in the HitTrax Open? So again, we have baseball and softball tournaments. On the baseball side, all MILB players, that's minor league players that are under contract in 2020, and that is not currently on a 40-man roster. So if you're on a 40-man roster, congrats, but you're not eligible for the HitTrax Open. If you were one of the players, and there's a ton of you guys out there, and minor leaguers that were cut or, you know, whatever happened come February at spring training, because of the pandemic, you don't have a season. So if you had a contract going into 2020, you are eligible. If you were cut, I was just talking with someone yesterday, our first registrant, Martin. He was cut by the Cardinals at spring training. He had a good season too. He had a good spring training too, but he got cut. He's eligible. So it doesn't have to be right now, just any time contract under 2020. And again, you're not on a 40-man roster. Also on the baseball side, if you are on the USA baseball team or any other country team that was qualified for the Olympics, you are eligible. So I know I met with someone a couple of days ago that was on Team Ireland, and then you know, Team Italy or Team Mexico or Canada. You know, same thing with softball too. If you were on a national team that was qualified for the Olympics, you are eligible for that, to participate. And on the softball team, on the softball side, Elena, you want to take that one? Yeah,
same thing. It's 2019 and 2020 pro softball players. So anybody who had a professional contract, whether it's the MPF, USSSA has since disbanded, or Scrapyard, if you were under contract with them, you are also eligible, and also any Tokyo qualified Olympic athlete. So same, pretty similar as on the baseball side. Those are going to be the qualifications. I guess the only difference would be pro versus MILB.
Okay. All right. So now the facility eligibility. So we have 1,000 plus 2,000, somewhere in 1,500, somewhere in between in the US and in Canada and all around the world, actually, that have HitTrax machines, all these facilities out there, baseball academies, softball academies, batting cages. You are eligible as long as, obviously, you have the HitTrax machine. You have a cage that, what we want is we don't want anybody hitting off a tee or a soft toss. We want to make this thing challenging. So the restriction here, and I'll jump down to that pitch velocity requirements, is 70 miles an hour and 60 miles an hour for softball. So 70 for baseball, 60 for softball. So anything less than that, and that's home plate speed. So the HitTrax system we measure both out of hand and home plate, but we were specifying home plate speed for the pitch velocity. So if a baseball comes in less than 70 miles an hour, we will not track it. So it will be disqualified. It won't even be an eligible hit because we know it came in at 68 miles an hour. So we'll disregard that hit. Even if it was a home run or a double in the gap, it doesn't count. So sorry. So the pitch has to be 70 miles an hour or more in baseball, 60 miles an hour or more in softball. Okay. So jumping back up to the facility eligibility, you need a pitching machine that's going to throw 80, because don't forget, out of the hand might be 80, but as it crosses home plate, it might be 74. Okay. So allow for that drop in velocity. So the pitching machine should be 80 miles an hour, and for softball, it should be 70. So that allows for a drop of 10 miles an hour, which it's not gonna be that much. Now, the next question is, where's the placement of my pitching machine? Now, actually, let's take a step back. We don't care if it's a pitching machine or a live arm throwing, but the only thing we care about is the velocity as it crosses home plate. So if you have someone that can throw 70 miles an hour consistently and in the strike zone, we don't care if it's a live throw or a pitching machine. What we care about is that it meets the minimum requirements. If not, we disregard the hit entirely. So pitching machine or live throw, but it has to meet those requirements as the ball is crossing home plate. Good?
Like it.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Trying to be clear as possible.
And to add on just the flexibility here, and you started with anybody can host. I mean, it's important to remember why we're kicking this off is everybody's going to have the tools, in their HitTrax to be able to do this on their own. So the second half of the sync play matchup, the head-to-head battle, you can be doing that on your own too. If you just go into HitTrax gaming module, you click on online matchup, right, Mike? Is that what it's labeled? Online matchup?
Yep.
And you can sync up your systems with somebody else. And same thing with the Friday Night Fight series and the HitTrax Open on the online gaming side. These are tools that you guys are going to you guys are going to have to utilize moving forward. So we really hope that this is an awesome introduction for people to start familiarizing themselves with these tools. And then just know that, any HitTrax system across the country has a capability of participating.
So another thing regarding the pitching machine, we're not going to, we're being as flexible as possible. You're going to say, well, how about if the pitching machine is 40 feet away, not 54 feet away? Why can't we do 60 because the reaction time's the same as 70? Or we're not playing that game. The pitch machine, the pitch velocity has to be measured at 70 miles an hour. I don't care if it's at 40 feet away or 65 feet away. It doesn't make a difference to me. The pitch velocity has to be 70 for baseball, 60 for softball. There is no compensation for where the pitch is coming from and reaction time. All right. We just can't police that. All right. We don't know if you can say, well, yeah, it was at 30 feet away, so I should be able to throw 50 miles an hour. Same thing. We're not doing that. We just can't police that. So we're not going to allow. So you can pitch it at 30 feet away, but it still has to come in at 70 miles an hour. So again, we're not compensating for shorter distances. The pitch has to come in at the minimum requirement that you see right there, 70 and 60.
Mike, you want to talk about the dimple ball versus hard ball as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, just putting out too. I mean, if you only have dimple balls in your facility, those are also eligible. But keep in mind that exit velocities are going to be lowered off dimple balls, and by differing ranges depending on the. Yeah, right around 5% depending on the ball. So just keep in mind if you're an athlete looking to participate, we aren't going to change the exit velocities. We're not going to compensate them. We're going to read true to what the HitTrax delivers. So the minimum pitch speed requirement, like Mike was saying, is absolute. And we're going to go with the exit velocity that the system registers. So that might mean the difference of a double versus single, or an out versus hit. But just keep that in mind too. It does not that you're not eligible if you are playing against simple balls. It just, you might be at a slight disadvantage compared to people that are playing with hard balls.
Yeah.
Question so far. Just remember, if you want to shoot a question into that Q&A, it's a pretty small group here, which is awesome. It kind of gives us an opportunity to maybe give some different insight or answer some more specific questions. So feel free to shoot them.
Okay, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, the qualifying round, Friday through Sunday, baseball or softball. Just have at it. Everyone who qualifies, which we did on the previous slide, can go to any facility that's participating. I'd call up in advance, for you players out there, I'd call up in advance, make sure that the facility that you want to go to has the pitching machine that's there. You bring your own pitcher and follow the rules. You have to reserve cage time, of course. So just make sure that facility you want to go to, call up, and that they're registered. So anytime during that day, we'll probably put some times on this, Elena, maybe like noon East Coast time on Friday, all the way to maybe, 9 on Sunday night, 9 p.m. East Coast time. We'll come up with some sort of a starting point and ending point, considering West Coast as well, all time zones. So it's that weekend, Friday to Sunday, the 17th to the 19th. You register and you come online and you go to the facility. So again, to register, go to HitTrax.com. There is probably should have had this queued up, but when you go to HitTrax.com, you will see a big, what they call a modal that takes up the HitTrax.com site, and it says HitTrax Open, and it says learn more. You go learn more, and then this upper right hand corner, it says you want to play, please register. And when you register, you're going to put in your name, of course, your email address, I think your phone number, and you'll have a player agreement to participate, and then you have to confirm that, and then you're registered. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah, can I add a couple things there too on the facility side in terms of registration, host registration. So we're trying to do as much as we can on our side to make sure that everybody's connected and has a place to go. So if you're a facility and you want to participate, go ahead and register yourself through our website, through the chain that Mike just talked about, hittrax.com, register to become a host. And what that's enabling us to do is, as players are registering, and as Mike said, anybody can host, right? You don't necessarily need to be completely registered as a host to know a player that wants to participate and bring them in. But what this allows us to do is connect players that are reaching out that don't know of HitTrax facilities in their area with people that we know that meet the criteria of this tournament, which is the pitching machine, the high-speed internet, and a HitTrax. So that just helps us out on our end, market your facility a little bit more as well, and hook up players in that area. And then for any players that are going to be watching this, keep in mind that once we connect you with that facility, and this is important too for the facility side, once we hook you up with that facility, the expectation is that you reach out directly to schedule your cage time, and B, cage rental. So we're not charging a registration fee to participate in the tournament, but there might be cage rental fees that are associated with a particular facility, some more expensive than others. So you might want to make some calls on the player side if you're conscious of that. But keep that in mind as the players as well. Weekend one, the expectation is that you coordinate your own cage time. Sound good? I feel like that was, I don't know, long, but maybe.
I put up the HitTrax, while you're doing that, I put up the HitTrax.com website.
Yeah.
You can see that?
Yep. Okay,
here's that modal that we were talking about, HitTrax Open, 2020 HitTrax Open, $40,000 in cash prizes. We've been going back 20,000, 40,000. It's 2 tournaments, $20,000 each. So it's 40,000 total for the 2 tournaments. So you just hit register today. You come to the HitTrax landing page, or the HitTrax Open landing page. Here are all the rules, the divisions, eligibility, pitch speeds, everything that we're talking about is actually right here on this landing page. And then up here, are you a facility interested in hosting? You click here and then you register as a facility. If you're a player interested, you are open here. The deadline is 7/16. You just click here and that gives you the facility, the registration page for the player or the registration page for the facility. So it's that simple. Just go to HitTrax.com and follow the model. All right, let me go back to this guy. Okay, so I think we just took care of the first couple of bullets. Maybe that third point, I think Elena just talked about that, but there's no fee for the players. We are not charging the players a dime to participate in the HitTrax Open. We are not charging the facilities any fees to host a player for the HitTrax Open. So when the players call you up and say, hey, I want to come in and participate, it's up, they're going to pay you for the cage time. So that's up to you guys on how the facilities, on how you want to charge for that for a qualifying round. So let's talk about that a little bit because, Elena did talk about this, but that qualifying round is a 3-game minimum. Well, we accumulate the scores or cumulative scores on the 3 games. So a player comes in, baseball or softball, they want to do the qualifying round, they register, they come to your facility, they're going to play 3 games, and those 3 games, the combined score, cumulative score, is then posted to HitTrax standings or the HitTrax Open standings, and that's how they're ranked. So each game is 6 innings or 20 minutes, whatever comes first. And then they either take a break or another player pops in, however you guys want to do this. So it's a 20-minute game maximum. So if you want to do an hour cage rental for a player for, say, $80 or $60 or whatever you want, that's fine. They probably need a break in between, though. So maybe it's an hour and a half cage rental with a couple of minute break in between, a 5-10 minute break in between. But that's what the qualifying round looks like. 3 standalone games, 6 innings or 20 minutes longs. By what we mean by standalone, so there's been some questions on that. A standalone game means that the player goes in there, they put on a game, they pick the field, they participate in HitTrax Open, which we'll get into in a future one, how to turn on a game. We're not going to touch base on that today. But they participate in the Open and they play 6 innings. The pitch is coming in every 8 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it is. And if they make 3 outs, that's an inning. 6 innings, that's a game. So there's no other person at bat and there's no other team playing against them in that game. It's how many runs they score in a 6-inning formatted game. 3 outs per inning, and you could walk and you could strike out. So it's a regular game, but they're just playing themselves. All right, 3 games, cumulative score goes to the standings. That's the next bullet. The results are entered in the tournament, accumulated 3 games, and they're ranked. Okay, so again, if there's 300 players, we will rank them from top to bottom, from the highest number of score down to the lowest number of score, and the top 32 players advance to the next round. I'm probably sure that there's going to be players number 30, 31, 32, 33 that are going to have, 15 runs or something like that. So what are we going to do in that case as a tiebreaker? Well, if you're familiar with the quality hit game or point values for each hit, quality hit points, that's determined by your exit velocity, the distance, the launch angle, and the result, which is weighted a little less than the other 3. So every hit, there's a point value based on those metrics I just mentioned. So a deep line drive in the gap up against the wall might be worth 74 points, but a little comebacker to the mound might be worth 0 points or 1 point or something. So those we keep track of those points through the 3 games. And if the players have tied in the number of runs that they scored in the 3 games, we're going to look at the, I think it's the average or the total number of quality points. I think that's going to be the same anyway. So the average or total number of points, quality points that they hit during those 3 games, that's the tiebreaker. So if one player is banging doubles off of the wall and the other one is hitting flares to right and scores the same amount of runs, well, and the guy or the girl that's hitting doubles off the wall is going to advance as opposed to the flares, because they're going to be more quality points if they score the same amount of runs. Tiebreaker.
Perfect.
Good. Elena? Good?
Yeah, good.
All right. So that's the qualifying round. 3 standalone games, top 32 move on to the finals round. So that finals round, what we're doing with a qualifying round, anyone played during that Friday to Sunday, and it's all accumulated or perked up to the standings. Now we're down to the finals, and we're going to be streaming these games on video. We're going to have timed games now, and they're not going to be standalone. They're going to be head-to-head. If you go on our Instagram page, Elena, you just posted the Courtney Hawkins, Cody Clemens game, right?
Matchup. Yep, exactly.
It was a sync play game that's head-to-head. And if you want to see an example of a sync play head-to-head game, go on our Instagram account right now. Elena posted it last night, I believe, and you'll see Courtney Hawkins, awesome guy, strong as bull, down in Texas, down in Austin, I believe, and Cody Clemens, the pure hitter, that's from Houston, for all you Clemens fans. Those guys battled it last month or the month before in some test games with their friends and all that. So we said, hey, you guys want to battle each other? And they did.
Pretty cool.
So that's the same format as this bracketed round of head-to-head games. And you'll see some cameos from the Rocket himself. It's actually pretty funny. So yeah, I'd encourage you to go on our Instagram at HitTrax official Instagram account and check out that game. Pretty cool. We shortened it. So, all right. So, okay. So those are the times. So baseball, the first 3 rounds, this is a bracketed tournament. I'm all over the place now.
It's okay.
This is a bracketed tournament. So we like the standalone games to whittle it down to 32. But once we have the 32, and I talk with my hands, so once we have the 32 players, we're going to enter them into a March Madness type of bracket, right? Tournament bracket. So there's going to be 32 slots. We're going to break it up into 4 divisions, and we're going to rank them 1 through 8 in each division, right? And we're going to have a HitTrax umpire for each division, and they're going to be timed, right? We'll figure out the times later, but it's 12 noon East Coast time all the way to maybe 9 at night or whatever. So there will be specific times for each one of these games. And the first 3 rounds, so from 32 to 16, from 16 to 8, and from 8 down to 4, those are single elimination games. Okay, not best of 3. So Cody versus Hawk, they play 6 or 7 innings. I think we have 6, but I want to move it over to 7. I haven't talked to you about that, Elena, but I'm going to move it to 7, I think. So they're going to play 6 or 7 innings, and whoever wins advances. Whoever loses goes home. All right, so that's the first 3 rounds, and it whittles down to the final 4. The final 4 gets played 48 hours later. Again, it's going to be timed. We're going to tell you exactly what time you need to do this. And when those 4 players match up in the final 4, again, baseball, softball, same format, they are going to play a best of 3. So might need 6 games to win this thing. So best of 3, and that's going to be the final round, the final 4.
Perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, just keep in mind, facility owner, it's going to be baseball, softball. So if you have, if you're only hosting baseball players, you can plan to play Friday, Sunday. If you're only hosting softball players, you're going to be up on Saturday, Monday. If you got a mix, then you're live all weekend. But that's going to be fun. I mean, we're really excited about it. I know we're going to get into some marketing slides here in a second, but I think that's where we can really get some excitement behind some sports again, some real competition, some live streaming and stuff like that.
You know what we didn't talk about?
Tell me.
The website, and that these games are being played as the qualifying round of the finals. Someone can follow the game live on HitTrax.com.
We'll get there.
We'll get there?
Yeah, I think that's in the...
Okay.
Yeah.
I could go to on the live website right now, because we have the Friday night fights happening, and it's kind of going to be a little similar, but all right, we'll get to that. But what I'm saying is that you can see all these games like game day right on the HitTrax.com. So if you want to follow Courtney Hawkins in Austin, Texas, and you're in, I don't know, Maine or whatever, you can actually go on HitTrax.com, look at Courtney Hawkins and bang, you'll see inning pitch by pitch and inning hit by hit, and see he's on second and third with 2 outs, and he hit a home run at 97 miles an hour. So all of that is actually available on HitTrax.com. You'll be able to follow all 300 games, and that's kind of why we're asking people to register early, because we need to amp up our servers, and if we're going to have 500 people, we probably need to bring another server in there. So we're asking people to register early just so we can make sure it's smooth for everyone. Okay, so we talked about the qualifying round, the finals, the formats for that, and now the big time, the money. All right. So this was something we went back and forth on. Do we get some prize money with this? And we consulted with our lawyers and people about, if we can give away money and all that. And, it seemed like everything was fair. As long as this is a fair competition, we can do it. So we wanted to make it meaningful too. So we didn't want to say $500, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't mind winning $500, but we've been kind of, everything that's happened this year, and, we've had a lot of good, HitTrax has a lot of good fortune over the years. It's been great working here and seeing the business grow. And I think it was something that we wanted to step up and maybe just give a little bit more back to the players that have really helped us grow over the years. So, we're going to put $40,000 up for this. $20,000 for softball, $20,000 for baseball. The winner gets $10,000. So you play the qualifying round, you survive the 32 team or player bracket, you get $10,000, and you have to take a picture with me and Elena. We'll get one of those big checks.
Big check, talking like a WWE belt, something fun.
Yeah. We'll fly you to Northborough, and you'll be able to come here in our office. And no, we're not doing that. So the winner gets $10,000, and second place gets $4,000. Third place and fourth place get, I think it's like $2,500 or something like that. But why I did this over here, that second to last bullet point, we're also giving the 32nd player $100. So anywhere from 9 to 32 gets 100. So somewhere in between there, the 5th and 6th and 7th players get somewhere in between 4,000 and 100. But even if you just make the qualifying round of 32, you get some money, $100. So that'll pay for your time or your cage fees or whatever. So we're trying to disperse this to as many people as possible. So, but the winner gets 10 grand. I think that's pretty cool. But we're not stopping there. The host facility. So if RBI Academy in Dayton, Ohio, or DBAT facility or wherever hosts that player that wins, we're going to give you a check for $500 on top of that. Just because. Just because. So you'll be getting $500 as well as the winner with 10.
Some incentive, to keep these athletes well hydrated, feed them snacks in between.
Yeah, it's bananas, bagels.
Awesome.
When I used to run 5Ks, there used to be bagels there. I don't understand why you give people bagels when you're on a race or something.
Sounds like my kind of 5K.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
A long time ago. Okay, that's it. We're at marketing already. Okay, yeah, marketing. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, so I'll hop in here, just talk a little bit about, what we are doing on the marketing side, hopefully some ways that we can support you market this within your communities. I mean, a big part of, the kind of the catalyst for this tournament was, yes, for the players and yes, for the facilities, but also all of us at HitTrax as, baseball and softball junkies, we want some action to follow. And I think right there at the beginning of the pandemic, we were all watching video games on ESPN and kind of pulling our hair out, just watching people, click away. So we want something that fans can get behind and have fun following a tournament and really access their favorite players. So in terms of marketing and getting the word out to your community, we are putting together Google Drives. So and we're going to follow up this webinar with a link to that Google Drive that's going to have some informational flyers. It's going to have logos. It's going to have our intro video. We're going to start doing some interviews with players that have registered. Mike did the first one yesterday with Martin, who was the first player to register on the baseball or softball side. for the tournament. So we'll put all of that stuff in that Google Drive. We're going to share as much as we can so that you guys can get that out to your communities and start to build some excitement. In terms of what you can do on your own, there is, I mean, and we just learned recently about this tool, so we wanted to share this as well. Just for you guys, we were on a webinar yesterday with a couple of facilities that use it, and they're very active on social media. It's called Canva. So, you know, the feedback we get from facilities and just understanding that the hours in the day are short for you guys, just with so much that you're having to do. And so I'm sure the last thing you want to do is dedicate 3-4 hours to making a graphic, because anybody that's made some graphics know that it takes a long time. So Canva, it's a free tool. You know, whether this helps you for the Open or other tournaments or other things that you guys are doing on your own, we wanted to throw this in here. It'll help you create the size of the graphic. They have pre-made templates for the different social media platforms. If you're posting Instagram, you know, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, it'll pre-size it for you, give you different ideas. And so you can plot, you know, if you want to do something specific for your facility, whether it's, you're going to say, okay, any of my players that are going to participate, I know I'm going to open up my cage from this time to this time. You want to customize that flyer. You know, take a look at Canva. It might help you guys out a little bit and save you some time. In terms of following the tournament, to Mike's point, you can just go to HitTrax.com and then click on Game Center. So it's a great example of actually today. We have Friday night fights going. It's a running series every Friday night. We could probably talk about that for another 2 hours, but essentially, you know, a bunch of teams in the hat, different divisions, and the scores are updated live. So right in real time, as we're speaking, there's 2 teams playing, the Flying Gorillas and the Apaches, one in Missouri, one in Texas. One is in the 3rd inning, one's in the 7th. And so you're following this action in real time. And obviously these team names are going to be Amanda Chittister, Martin Figueroa, or, you know, the names of the players. So as you start to market the players that are participating at your facility, maybe you can talk about what time they're playing. And then, you know, people can follow on HitTrax.com how they're doing throughout the series. So we hope this is going to keep it really engaging and allow people to be able to follow the tournament and get a little bit more personally invested. And then the last thing is live streaming. So Tom,
I want to see what Max does. It's ball
what's
one.
that?
I want to see what Max does. 3 balls, no strikes. There's a man on 1st and 3rd. There's 1 out. Let's see what he does. Come on, Max. Sacrifice fly. He hit a sac fly. He brought in a runner. That's a quality at bat there. So it's 10 runs. Good for Max. Good job, Max.
A little shout out. We should send this to Max later. There you go.
Too, right? Oh,
nice
somebody got a home run. Somebody just started with a home run.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I missed that. And you get the exit ball velocities too. So right now, the standings, we got the Performance Academy of North Carolina scored 64 runs by the Apaches at 33, 15. This is our Friday night fight series. But you're going to see, like Elena just said, Amanda Chittister. You're going to see all the players there. I'm trying to think of some other names there. Alicia or Jade. You know, she's going to be up there, I'm sure. We got Riley, right? Sartana. I'm sure she's going to be up there. So we got all these players up there, and I think you'll be able to see them and follow them live, whether they're stats or the games. Sorry, I just diverted.
No, it's okay. That's perfect. So yeah, follow the tournament on HitTrax.com. In terms of live streaming, we are going to stream definitely the finals to our YouTube channel. I think we're going to be doing some, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Some of the top 32 games. But if you, what's that?
Live stream.
Live stream, yeah.
Yeah, we're working hard on that. That's something that's cool that. Where we get some vMix software we're really fooling around with. And this is going to become where I'm sitting right now in Northborough, Mass, is going to be a production center. So we're going to be able to switch from Canton, Ohio to Santa Monica to Apex, North Carolina. And we're going to be able to, be the producers of all these streaming games. So we're fooling around with that now. So we have some, hopefully it's going to be pretty engaging and pretty fun to watch.
Perfect. Cool.
Okay. So that's the marketing side. I'm sorry. I was kind of caught up in the live games there. I got distracted. Okay. Fees. So we've already said that there are no registration fees. HitTrax is not charging the facility, or we're not charging the players any fees. So the fees are going to come from the player to the facility to rent the cage time. I think we covered that. The time of the games, we covered that as well. The qualifying round, 6 or 7 innings, 20-minute score, 20-minute time lengths. So you might want to add, depending if there's 2 or 3 players in there, they're kind of going back and forth in between games for rest, or if it's a straight out one player game, that one player that wants to play 3 games, maybe factor in an hour or maybe 90 minutes for each player for play 3 games with rest time. Really important that a requirement, I think I missed that, the requirement for the facilities, you got to have high-speed internet, specifically for the finals round, because we're going to be doing live streaming and all that information is going live to the website like I just showed you. You got to have Wi-Fi, high-speed internet, whether it's Wi-Fi or whether it's Cat 6 going into the back of the Dell. Please do that, because we're not going to, once you get to the if you get a player that comes in for the qualifying round, they make the finals, and we want to live stream it. Plus, that's going to be our way of actually umpiring the game, is through TeamViewer. So we need Wi-Fi, and if you don't have it, you'll have it, right? Just promise me you'll have it. Time of games again. I think we're kind of done all this. First 3 rounds.
Like wood bats only on the baseball side, correct?
Wood bats only on the baseball side, and the softball side, you're the pro there.
Softball side is an ISF international certified or an NPF stickered bat.
Okay. We talked about the baseballs too. We talked about extra innings for the finals. So for tiebreakers for the qualifying round is the quality points. There is no tiebreaker in the finals, or any round, 1 through 5. So it's extra innings. So they have to play extra innings until someone wins. Best of 3, single elimination, the first 3 rounds of the bracket, and then the final 4 in the championship is a best of 3. Again, high-speed internet, and that's it. That's it.
Awesome. It's a lot. I mean, I think a lot of this too, is just kind of an education process in terms of like what a one-sided game is, and, understand the format, but hopefully everything in the software is easy to navigate. And so in terms of your time day to day, we hope this really adds a lot of value to the facility and brings some excitement for the athletes for sure. But we hope it's super easy to navigate in terms of an administrative side of things. Sure.
We'll probably have something a little closer to game day on how to actually the logistics of it all, and maybe we'll go through the through setting up the games and making sure the players are in the air and all that.
Yeah.
It's very simple. That'll be a 5-minute little video. Maybe we'll just do it and just post it for you guys to refer to, facilities to refer to.
Cool. Any other questions before we sign off? I think we're probably good.
We're good? Okay. Elena, thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everybody, for coming on.
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Keep looking at the Instagram account. We're going to be posting more interviews and all of that.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.